Hey guys and gals, welcome back to Andrew-Unfiltered, my journey with mental illness. I've been away for about 5 days. I did contract a stomach bug that was lethal. Now, I would say lethal. It was lethal to me. It put me on my butt, caused me to vomit, had some other issues going on. I'm not the type that likes to vomit, and when I do vomit, it's vicious. I strained chest muscles, neck muscles, back muscles from all the heaving and dry heaving that I did, because once it gets going, it goes. But I'd like to talk about memory loss. I was going to do a segue of, I forgot to make these videos as a part of of my episodes. But that was just too cheesy. But, I like to talk about memory loss here. Veterans who have TBI, PTSD, anxiety is a big one, all have a symptom of memory loss. I can tell you some stories of memory loss. This has happened to me about 13 times. I take the hose and I give my dogs some water, or chickens some water when I'm filling up, and I finish filling their bowls, but then I put the hose back in the pool, and as soon as I'm getting done, I think of something and I take an immediate left somewhere else, and I do that task, and I do other tasks in conjunction with that task, and I forget that I still had the water on in the pool. And I think this last time I left it on for about 15 hours. It needed water due to the evaporation. But I left it on for 15 hours, and the water was right at the top of the lip of the pool. And it looked like an infinity pool. My wife, she kind of said some things to me. Why'd you forget? It just happens. I've done it 13 times. Probably do it 14 times. But I did ask the VA for some ADD medication, so I do think that I do have a sense of attention deficit, where I just want to accomplish everything and anything and forget what I did last. So the medication that I've been on is very helpful. It's been allowing me to concentrate more. It's allowing me to identify what I've done that day. If I needed to turn the water off, if I needed to do any type of task that I forgot that I needed to do, which was urgent. So the medication has helped. But memory loss, as veterans, we especially me, I don't like to think of it as a disability, but let's just call it what it is. It's a disability. And it's caused issues in my past, personally, family-wise, work-wise. It's caused me some issues that I needed to identify and try to get resolution for. I lose things a lot, especially my keys in my wallet, or anything I've laid down that I forgot. Went to the store, was buying some chicken feed or something. I think I had my son with me, and I took my wallet out to pay, but I left my wallet on the counter. I got home, didn't know about it. Then I needed to go to the store and get something else. I was like, where's my wallet? Luckily, I have AirTags attached to my wallet, attached to my keys, attached to RV key. I got on my iPhone, looked for it, and I left it at the store. And I've done that probably about 3 times. It's not as random, or to say it's not as common as forgetting to turn the water off. I've lost my keys. I have 2 sets of keys. I misplaced them, or I leave them in my truck, or I leave them somewhere else. The AirTags have came in handy for me. The iPhone allows me, like, it's like a little compass, and it allows me to, walk around and see if I can find it. It comes in handy. I don't know why it took Apple this long to create those things. I know Tile's been out there. It's a lifesaver for me, but it's becoming an impactful moment in my life that I'm forgetting a lot. And I'm not gonna say it's like Alzheimer's type forgetfulness. It's just the short-term memory of misplacing stuff. I know I can think about few instances where I've actually had severe brain damage, or not say damage, but trauma, to the point where I've impacted my C6 and my C7. I've compressed or bulging discs out there or in there. I know when I was a young, I want to say Lance Corporal, the sergeant decided to wake us up at 3 o'clock in the morning and, take us on a little run. No issues with that. But it was one of these motivating runs at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're not thinking straight. And we were in Camp Lejeune, and we were taking some back trails out by the theater, if it's still there. Then there was this creek. Instead of running on the bridge, we ran through the water. I think I tripped, and I banged my head, literally, right up here on top, on a rock. And I blacked out. They had to pull me out of the water. I shook it off. Took me about 2 minutes to realize where I was, and just kept running. When I was young, I didn't think anything of it. I was a motivated Lance Corporal trying to pick up Corporal. And again, instances like this where you put, duty before self, and you just forget self. So I didn't go see BA. I didn't go to B or I didn't go to sick hall. I probably had a head concussion. I probably had swelling of the brain because I remember I was woozy that day, and I didn't do anything about it. I just continued on, carried on, didn't tell anybody. Nobody came to check up on me to ensure that I was doing all right. So I just kept going. Probably about 15, 16 years late, let's just say probably about 10 years later, when I was a sergeant, I volunteered to go to Iraq and work with the border military transition teams, and I was stationed there in Baghdad for about 9 months. And the Army is pretty laxed with not having to wear headgear, or I would say helmet, flax, unless you're on your way home or on your way to work. I remember I was, it's my dog over there snoozing. I remember I was on my way back to my hooch, and we started taking mortar rounds. I don't know why the Sea Whizzes were down at that time. They were probably operational, and I think somebody probably told the insurgents that they were inoperable, so they started firing mortar rounds. Mortar rounds started coming in, and it's a fascinating sight. But it was a bloody. Sorry, I dropped my camera. I remember these mortar rounds following this truck, and people flying everywhere, body parts flying everywhere. Then it hit a bus stop. If you have never been on an Army base, they have bus stops. 2 people there were killed by the mortar round, and it seemed like it was getting closer to me. And I was near my hooch. My hooch got hit, lost a lot of my stuff, but luckily I had my weapons on me. I remember diving into a ditch and head first without my helmet on. I hit a rock. I blacked out. Luckily, I'm alive, but then the Sea Whizzes kicked in and started hitting all the mortars. But I woke up probably about 10 minutes later, somebody coming over there shaking me, thinking I was dead or something like that. But I came to. I was like, oh crap, what just happened? Where am I at? The whole short-term amnesia. And I gathered myself, went back to the office to make sure, tell the chief warrant officer, there's 2 Marines, there was only 2 Marines there, so the chief warrant officer was in charge of me. Tell him I was alive, explain the situation. Didn't mention anything about, hitting my head. I had blood, washed all that off. Didn't go to BAS, didn't go to sick hall. Just walked it off like a Marine would, and I didn't want the excess baggage of having to go there. I didn't want to have myself made it look like I was weak, because I was a sergeant. I was at probably about 12 or 13 years. I think it was at 12 years. I was looking to get promoted to staff sergeant, and I didn't want that. Didn't want that on my record to having trauma, not knowing that, hey, this might hinder my chances of getting promoted. So again, two faults on me of not checking in with BAS and getting stuff documented to make sure I was all right, because I was looking to get promoted. I was looking to get going home after my 9-month tour. I didn't take care of myself. I was looking at the long-term benefits of me being in a combat zone, of trying to get promoted, and I just chalked it off. And I remember getting back to Camp Lejeune, getting to the airport. A friend of mine was coming in from Afghanistan, so I decided, hey, I have a rental car. Or I had my car. No, it was a rental car. And I went to go to the Jacksonville airport to pick him up. And I remember picking him up. And if you've ever been to Jacksonville airport, the airport's right here, and they got this road, if it's still there, that it's like a U shape. And I remember picking him up, talking to him, driving straight down the U shape, and I just black out and crash my car into the ditch. And his eyes were like, what the hell just happened here? And it was an effect of not seeking medical attention for all the head bangs that I had. And I seriously, I thought my body did a hard reset. I didn't know what to do then. I did not go to the doctor for this stuff. And a lot of the VA reps, when you tell them these stories, they honestly think that you're lying to them because you're trying to get something out of them. But they don't realize is, a lot of Marines, it's being in senior leadership roles, or looking to get promoted. We don't want to make ourselves look weak. We just want to get promoted, get that extra $10 in pay, get that extra weight on the collar, and move on. Little did I know those traumas have caused short-term memory loss. I remember when I first met my wife, for the longest time, I didn't know what her name was. I thought of everything in the book. I called her pet names, and it took a while for that to register back into my mind. Hey, Wendy, and it again, at that time while in the military, I didn't think anything of it, but I knew there was something wrong. I've misplaced a lot of things, even though they're right there where I left them. I could not remember where I put them. And having short-term memory loss, puts a stress on your marriage, and it puts a stress on your relationship with your kids. I should say mine. I know I used to forget where we're going. If I had to be reminded over and over again, this is where we're going. I have to be reminded to do something. If not, I would just carry on with my day. Fast forward to now, when I'm trying to go to the VA to seek support, you know, they're looking at your medical records and they're like, oh, nothing's there to support your substantiating. There's no evidence. And I was like, well, I'm telling you this. I'm not seeking any type of reparation or anything like that. I just want to be service connected, you know, 0% or whatever, so I can seek help on the outside. And I know it's too late, but I need the help. I need all the help that I could get. So about, 2016 to for about 6 years, I'm finally seeking that help that I need in order to carry on with my daily life. You know, I get the air tags, I get the medication to help focus, I get the medication to help control my anxiety so my anxiety doesn't take control and allow me to forget a lot more. But the one thing that I need to do is start slowing down, understanding the situation, taking a breath. Where did I put this? Where did I put that? You know, there's, you know, I wake up dreams sometimes for, hey, I parked my truck. Where'd my truck go? You know, I've had several dreams of, you know, meeting people and parking my truck, and I don't know where I left it. I don't know if this is my mind telling me, hey, you've got these memory issues. You might want to go get those looked at. So I went to see a TBI doctor. This doctor was phenomenal. He walked through the process. He's like, I understand you Marines, so you don't need to sugarcoat anything for me, because I know exactly what you're going to tell me. You're going to tell me that you were Billy Badass, you didn't seek medical attention, and now that you're done with the military, the stress is all going away, but you're having personal stress of these issues arising, and you're seeking help for it. I was like, well, yeah, that's exactly what I'm here for. And, you know, we walked through some forms. He's like, you do have a small, I don't know the term that he used for, but he says you do have traumatic brain injury, but it's not to the point where you're having seizures or just a narcoleptic type episode of just blanking out. And I was like, great, you know, what can we do to help me? He's like, well, there's some programs out there, but COVID hit, and, you know, now it's, I'm finally getting the representation from the VA that I need. I know next week I have a doctor's appointment with a psychotherapist, psychiatrist, therapist, whatever you want to call them nowadays, to help me understand memory loss, help me understand ADD, help me understand myself. So when I say that, I've used this term in the past, I'm not special, I'm just broken, and I'm trying to seek help to put those pieces back together. And I think what's transpiring now with me seeking medical help, I'm finally getting the attention that I require. I'm finally getting the techniques to help me, the medication to help me, and I think it's going to help me with my family, help me with my relationship with my wife. It's going to help me a little bit more. I say this and I open up to this, it's probably not going to be the last time. But we all did a service. Some do it for 4 years, some do it for 30 years. But you're not that gung-ho G.I. Joe now. You're actually a soft, bloody mass tissue, water-walking human. You bleed red like everybody else do now. And, it's times like this where the tools that I have now, I wish I had those in the past. So it's no joke. People laugh about memory loss all the time, but it's not a laughing matter. It's a serious issue. The longer someone prolongs it, like I did, the worse it's going to get. So if you're sitting out there watching and you're actually listening to me for this long of a time, get help. It's the best thing that can happen to you. Your employer doesn't need to know that you're doing this unless you have a DoD security clearance and it affects your work. Your work. I think they came out with a new law now that you need to report it if it affects your job with that security clearance. But most of the time it does not. It's not like you're going to go psycho and forget that you did something like this story. Like, I crap you guys not. I was in corporal's course. I was not corporal's course, but I was a corporal going to basic supply school. And since I was an NCO, the instructors would talk to you unlike they would talk, the privates, PFCs, and the Lance Corporals that just got out of boot camp. And they were telling us this story about this gunny who went out and got drunk, got a DUI, and came back for NJP, and I crap you not, they got off of this DUI just for the mere fact that they said that they didn't get a weekend safety brief. I mean, the BS with that. So, you're not a military service member now. Once a Marine, always a Marine. I'll always be a Marine. I'll always be Gunnery Sergeant Dunn. People still refer to me as Gunny, and I kind of set them straight as it's Andrew. I am a civilian. I am seeking the help. I am no longer gung ho fighting for something that is non-tangible, like a rank or a fitness report. I'm fighting for my life, and I've learned that the hard way, that I need to take care of myself because nobody else will. While you're wearing the uniform, you always think that the military is going to take care of you, but they're not. They're going to get their service out of you. They're going to send you home, send you away. Now you got to fend and fight to get these services that the military has inflicted, these inflictions on you. And you just need to take care of yourself. You need to see a doctor if you have TBI, PTSD, all that good stuff. The services out there now are phenomenal. I always had these thoughts about going to the VA because you hear all these stories about veterans committing suicide. Veteran or the VA not taking care of their veterans. I could tell you tons of VA stories from different VA hospitals. I remember one where I was checking in and I stood at this desk staring at the many representatives, looking at their placards. Oh, I was in the Air Force, or I was in the Navy, or I was a soldier. But they treat you different. It seems like they sold their soul to the VA to get a job, and they don't remember where they came from. And it's heartbreaking to see that. But just take care of yourself. Seek the help that you need, like I have. It's only there to better you. I hope this talk about memory loss has, impacted you in some small manner to make you want to just go seek the help that you require. I know the VA, you're not service connected, but they're there to support. If you find, you have PTSD, you can probably get some secondary opinions on memory loss as a secondary disability, but I'm not too sure about that. But it's being 0% service connected is a good thing. You know, they identify that the military broke you, and they want to help you get fixed. You know, I know one of the biggest benefits of being 100% is Tri-West. The ability to go out in town. You know, I was talking to a buddy of mine today, and he's 100%. I was like, have you not used the Tri-West option with the VA to go to the doctor for service-connected disabilities? And it's like being on active duty again. You go see the doctor, you don't pay for anything. So use the services. If you need help, I'm willing to help. You know, drop me a comment, send me a request, send me an email, send me an IM, send me something, and I'll help you. My main journey in life is to educate you, the veteran, on mental illness, specifically my situations, because that's all I know is my situations, and try to make life better for veterans. And that's my journey. You know, my mental illness is my journey to help you seek the help that you need. So I'm going to end it here. I will continue updating you guys on my mental illness. I will continue up with the episodes. So I hope you enjoy. Have a good night's sleep. And guys and gals, I will see you next episode. So just be sure to subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm here to provide my journey to support you. And I bid you adieu, and I will talk to you later.